Trouble really started on Palm Island when Mr. Crocker interfered with the hygiene gang. The hygiene gang is run by Albie Gaia, and he got experience with Mr. Garrett, who show him how to run it. Mr. Crocker come from the bush somewhere and started to tell them what to do. They don't pay Albie the right wage, so Albie tell them they can stick the money. But Mr. Bartlam don't want, because Mr. Crocker's brother-in-law to him. One night I see Sonny Sibley, Freddie Clay, George Watson, Bill Congu, Eric Limburn and Albie Gaia talking in the street, but I don't know what for. They say, "Come over here, listen, we think to make a strike." I say, "What for you make a strike?" They say, "We'll see if we can strike against Mr. Bartlam." I don't know anything about the trouble because I'm running the banana farm. Anyway, I go with them because I'm full up with Mr. Bartlam. Any small thing that you do wrong, he cut your wages. He is never satisfied. I only get 10 shillings a week, yet he cut my wages. No wages at all for a month. But Mr. Bartlam makes sure he get his full wages every fortnight. He don't care about anyone else. They can starve so long as they work for himself and Mr. Crocker. Mr. Bartlam also treat our women very bad. I saw with my own eyes the women who refused to go and scrub the hospital or the houses of the white officials. They shove them in jail. The woman can't do it because they gotta look after their little ones in the home, but he won't have it. They still gotta do what he want. When I was there, I was policeman too. Got 2 stripes. In the daytime I work on the farm, and at night time I go on duty in the settlement. One day they tell me to escort a girl from jail to sweep the office and the street. They put her in jail because she ran away from the dormitory for one night. They put her in a bag dress. That's an ordinary sack with the corners cut off, and they shave her head bald, all by Mr. Bartlam's instruction. Anyway, when I bring her to the office, Mr. Murphy get mad. "Take her back to jail," he say. During the strike, a lot of our mates double-cross us. They come and talk to us and go back to Mr. Bartlam and tell him what we say. Mr. Bartlam is not game enough to come out of the office. He lock himself inside with a few blacks who crawl up to him. I know all of them and I can name them now. One time I see Neville Bonner's wife. That's Mona Bonner, the late Mona Bonner, and her sister Jessie Pickles, standing together with my wife because they are blood cousins. I hear Neville Bonner's wife call out, "Neville, what are you doing inside Mr. Bartlam's office? You talk to him all the time, you big crawler. Come out and help them outside." The women start screaming. They all get sand and throw it inside the window at Mr. Bartlam. One part of it, we walk up to the Church of England to ask Father Gribble to come out and give us advice about the strike. Father Gribble come out and say to us, "I know you boys, I know your mothers and fathers. I'll make them married. Your children come to me for advice. Well, if you like to make a strike, that is your own business. But my advice is to go back and get the tools and start work. Because you must remember you have wives and children to feed. You must do the right thing to support them. Go and do the settlement jobs until Mr. O'Leary come. Then you have a talk to him. My advice to you is go back and do the work." We thank him and walk out. But when I come up the road to the office, I see all them Bartlam crawlers walking ahead down to the office. They probably tell Mr. Bartlam what are we talking about. When the strike was over, Mr. Bartlam gave recommendation to the government to send Father Gribble away from Palm Island back to Yarrabah Mission, where he started his early days, after he lived many, many years on Palm Island. That's how good Mr. Bartlam is. He is really perfect. One quiet night, all the white police come over when they hear the news. But before that, Albie and them fight some of the native police and knock them out. Then they ring up for white police. Straight away they come over. 12 in a military boat from Townsville. They walk around the village doing nothing. That night another 12 police come over. Every one of them got a gun. Mr. Cronin was detective sergeant. Next night I see Sonny and I say, by gee, this night is too still. Must be something gonna happen. Sonny say, no, everything alright, nothing gonna happen. Everything was peaceful. Early in the morning, about 4 o'clock, they strike my place. Detective Sergeant Cronin, Inspector Cook, and Greg Barry, Senior Sergeant of Police. Mr. Cronin said, don't move, Willie, or you're gonna get hurt. I say, what for? He say, you come under arrest. Soon as I come out the door, they catch me. They shove me, make me go forward. Detective Cronin said, don't try to do any dirty tricks or you'll get hurt. They slam handcuffs on my hands and we come down to the beach. There was another 5 coming too, and we all seemed to reach that boat together. Albie, Gaia, Bill Congu, Sonny Sibley, George Watson, Eric Lamberna and Gordon Tapau. Anyway, walk down to the beach and get into the boat, a flatty. We start to argue. Then we say to Greg Barry, you're not a fair man. Someday this thing gonna fly back to you. Soon as we pull out, I bet I strike out in a big island song about our home. The captain, a fellow called Mr. Whiting, hear us and he say, who them boys? They can't be going to prison in handcuffs, they seem so happy. We sing like anything in the military boat. We belong to the Air Force in Townsville. The policemen are on top with machine guns pointed down to us, but while we are in front of a machine gun, we sing like anything. When we get on the boat, it's nearly daylight. The walkie-talkie is going all the time, talking to people on the shore, talking to people in Townsville. They ask him, how them boys? I say, nothing wrong. They're singing like hell here. Mr. Whiting can't get over it. They wait to arrest us. They think we're all wild fellas on the boat, but we're all happy fellas. When 8 o'clock come, Inspector Cook and Detective Sergeant Cronin asks my wife, you want to come too? She say, oh yes, I like to go. Roll the swag and take what you can. Sit in the same boat with Willie. So woman and family come down on the same boat. They send the other people after. I got one child about 4 months old and one grandson. I look from the boat and see them walking on the jetty, I think. All the family coming. That's right. We are still in the boat singing like anything. I feel happy. I don't care about my belongings. Everything is lost. Somebody can pick them up. I got no chance to claim it. The sea was very rough, 30 or 40 knot wind. I tell the policeman, you better take my handcuffs off, because them kids might fall overboard. I gotta watch them. A good sergeant too, he take the handcuffs off. I hold my little daughter and all the others, Nina, Dulcie, Tele, David, all the little ones squashed up. I sit on the stern and get wet all the way from here to Townsville. The others, Albie and them inside in handcuffs, with police guarding them. All of them got guns on their side, just like we do a big murder. We come to Townsville Air Force Wharf and we get off. Police car there too. We stop there now to wait for a removal order to come from Mr. O'Leary. 4 days later, the removal order come. Willie Thade, Albie Gaia, Sonny Sibley, Woorabinda. Bill Congu, George Watson, Eric Lamberna, Sherberg, and Gordon Tapau, Bamaga. When we leave the Woorabinda, it is cold as anything. We got no warm clothes, nothing. I come away with only one shirt. We go a day and night to Rocky. They take me to jail in Rockhampton, lock me up. My wife too. and all the family was locked up. Then they take me to Woorabinda that same night. We get to Jeringa, 40 miles from Woorabinda, and we catch a car, Fargo, to take us to Woorabinda. The sergeant who escorted us from Palm Island is still with us at Jeringa. We come in Fargo, he come in too. We meet settlement car. Mr. Bailey is driving, 2 native police from Woorabinda. It is a really bad drive. We are jammed up like fish in a tin. You get to sit like that all the way, and they put the handcuffs on us too. We come to Woorabinda boundary, and Mr. Bailey say, if you boys like to run away, you can run away now. We are 13 miles from Woorabinda. We say nothing. They talk smart. We get to Woorabinda but no home to sleep, so they take me and put me in a single man's quarter. Me and my family was jammed up in one corner of the single man's home. I say no matter. We put up with it. Them other blokes alright, they don't come with their families, so they sleep anyway. Next morning, we get up and Mr. Nags, the superintendent, come in and say, well, Willie, there's one old broken home there. You got to find the best way you can to make it good. We won't give you a truck to get your timber. We'll give you mattresses for you, but you got to take the timber on your shoulder. I see the house. It's got a bark roof and bark wall. I say, that's not good for me. Too dirty, stinking. Everywhere proper filthy. I don't care if I have to go to jail, I'll refuse that house. I'll go tell Mr. Nags before I left Palm Island they have a show and I win the prize in a competition for a good home. I got a good home, good yard, first class everything. I left a good home on Palm Island. I never do bad on Palm Island, you know. We had an argument there with the superintendent for his wrongdoing. He treat you like you a dog on Palm. That's why we come here. Anyway, Mr. Shepherd say, you got to go in the house. I say, no, I won't go in there, and you can do what you like with me. I won't take my family to sleep there. I will stay in the boys' home. He say, please yourself. So we bring all the mattress down 500, 600, 700 yards. I lump them on my shoulder one at a time. I got no relations there, you see. I know a lot of people there, but no relations that can call me into their home. We got no saucepan, no plate, no spoon, nothing. And there are 10 in my family. We live that way, eating very little tucker, cooking very little. We only borrow saucepan, borrow plate, borrow spoon. And you have to go to work next morning. They say, if you no work, you go to jail. One morning the superintendent called me into the office. Now you go out if you like. I'll give you £10 and you can go look for a job. Well, I can't go. I got all my family there. I try to set up. I say to Albie, go on, you go first. I stop to make it good for all this family. I go afterwards. So I stop and get settled down. I stay with single men, but all kinds of things happen, swearing and so on. Some old people belong to wife come and tell me, you come over to our house. That house you got not much good. That is house for single men. So we go stop with them for a few months, I think. I work with carpenter. I go back to work 1 o'clock, supposed to start past. Mr. Nag talked to Mr. Bailey. He must be a good worker, I think. One day he come down to me and say, you like to go in a good home now? Inside that new place. You can't see for smoke. Somebody made a big fire inside and blackened the place, but I go there. When I got no pleasant things, but we stuck there all the same. My wife go to her cousin to borrow things. Anyway, I clean everything, scrub the smoke, and it come like a good home. I tell the wife I must go and try find work. So I go see Mr. Nags. but he put me on the farm where they work for nothing, only a piece of tobacco. I say to Mr. Nags, I'll go look for a job. He say, there's £10, you go. I go use the £10 to pay for my train fare to Townsville. I go in Townsville and look around, but this place is all grog. Albie and them are all here, among the drunk people. I say, I don't think I'll stop here. I report to railway station. Any job here on the railway? They say, yes. You got job here, but you have to go to gang 8-1. That is way up north, Rangoon, outside Ingham, about 81 miles. Lots of sandflies there. I say, that's all right, I'll take it. When I go up there was nothing at all, no modern clothes, but I work. First pay I buy something, a little bit. I worked there for 2 months, but then the railway run out of money. The inspectors say they're going to pay off all the temporary blokes, and you too, Willie, they're going to pay them off from Innisfail right to Townsville. You're allowed to leave. That's all right. So next day I say to the inspector, you better write my pass for the train fare. I go to Rocky. He said, no, you've not been here for long. I can't give you pay. You got to pay the ticket. So I go pay the ticket. That time it cost £11. I think from there to Rocky, I leave the job, I go to Rockhampton, then to Woorabinda, and start work there again. Mr. Nag see me again. He come down with Sergeant Swan following him. He know me well from Palm Island. When he was a senior sergeant there, he say to Mr. Nags, I like to get that fellow for policeman. Mr. Nags say, which fellow? Willie. You think he alright? Yes, he was a policeman on Palm Island. Made a good policeman, that fellow. So they talk to themselves, but I know nothing about it. I see Mr. Bailey and Mr. Nags come straight from the building. They call me over. Mr. Nags say, come here, Willie. How did you get that house up like that? I don't know how you had the experience as a carpenter. Oh yes, I tried my best. You know what? I try to make you a policeman. You like to do a police job? Yes, I don't mind. Alright, then you leave the job here and come and get a uniform. So I go get the uniform. In a fortnight time, he come down to the police station again and he tells Sergeant Swan, I'm going to give Willie 1 stripe. Make him 1 stripe sergeant, a corporal. Alright, next week come, Nags tells Swan, give Willie another stripe. Make him a 2 stripe sergeant. 3 weeks come and they say, give Willie another stripe. Make him 3 stripe sergeant. He will be good. He will be second to you now. I stayed there for a good while. In 1959, I helped their welfare man to make a concert, biggest concert you ever find. Beautiful island concert, 42 young girls. We take it to Baralaba, Theodore, Bullywalla, Banana, Wowan, and Rockhampton. At Rockhampton, they sent for me. They tell Mr. Wags, can Willie come here and dance for us? Alright, everything fixed up, I got down to Rocky. For the show, they built a special stage at the showground. There was a white bloke there too, Willie Burnham, I think. We travel down there and announce on the wireless all the time on the day before the show. They take my photo and I put it in the bulletin. The Rockhampton paper, right on the front page. I think, gee, I gotta dance good now. They're gonna look for me. Father Arthurs was a Catholic priest, and I think how to help the mission. Me and my wife, very strong Catholics from Palm Island. Churches in the showground at Woorabinda, and it got names in every corner. Every board and site, names of young boys and young girls, so-and-so and so-and-so, lovers only. It spoiled the church and hardly anybody go. The Church of England is the same, but the AIM, alright. The Catholic Church was right outside, but the AIM Church and Church of England right inside. I think to myself, I will go and ask Mr. Nags if I can see Mr. O'Leary. He say, what do you want? I tell him about the church. He say, you can see me. I say, why the Catholic Church stay out there and people draw signs on it? Bring the Catholic Church right into the heart of the settlement. Mr. Nags say, what do you want to shift the Catholic Church for? You want to show off? They make a joke. I say, Mr. Nags, if it is alright to bring up the church, we start to build it now. He goes see Mr. Leary himself. Mr. Leary, very strong Catholic. Mr. Nags say, alright, Father Arthurs is very happy. Willie, you do very good things. You helping the people. We start to work on the church now. 2 carpenters from Theodore come in. While we make the church, I think to myself, them people, they might mark the church again. So I say to Mr. Nags, can you build my home in front of the church? Straight in front. He say, what for? You got a house. My name was good there. Then he say, alright, I'll put a big one there for you. A new brown one. They put it up for me. Lovely home. We go and get new furniture from Rockhampton. It cost us £600. New church and new home, mass every Sunday. People come from Rocky. Nothing ever go wrong. And I planted trees around the church. If you go to Woorabinta today, you can see them same trees. So I stopped there and slacken off. People start to get jealous and start to talk about me. They can't do nothing. They've been there so long, I say. I don't think I want to break their hearts, and I tell the wife, I think we might go at Christmas time. We have Christmas at Garden Valley, Mount Isa with my cousin Joe. Everything go all right, and Joe say, you want a job here? You want to stop? This time wife stop and I go back. I sell all the things for £100 and come back. My wife told me that the last time we ever go back to Woorabinta, I work on the railway as fettler. They're very bad people too. Always look down on a man. When I try to come up with my cousin, turn on me. Gonna tell the inspector about me. They say this way, that way, but it's not true. I say we keep going. It don't matter, someday it's gonna be good. I go on another gang, Winton section, work there. Fellow called Alan Bannon say, I can't see anything wrong, Willie. So he come in, talk to Harry Haddock, and say, I think that man there, Willie, is fit for ganger. Harry say, you better try Scruddick, 7 mile out. There is a small house there. Family can stay there. I work in Hughenden in winter, and when I finish there, I come to Scruddick as temporary ganger. I work section from Garden Valley to Hughenden. Harry Haddock come to my section and say, that man work on the railway before. I say, no. I only work at Rangoon, but never did much. They paid me off. I worked there, then they put in for transfer to Prairie, and I get Prairie. There, I on longer section, 7 miles this way and 7 miles that way. I come right up to Worry, where there is big double loop with a train change. I worked for 4 years at Hughenden, almost as long as at Prairie. Then I looked for transfer, and Tully came up. I put in for Tully, no trouble, I get Tully. My wife get a native home on the coast, and she is very glad I come. That is 1964, and I work in Tully 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. In 1968, I get a stroke, and doctors say, at the finish of work, I go on invalid pension. Never work no more. Palm Island is a place that I like to live all my life. Palm Island is not today like it was before. We were really friendly people on Palm Island. Everybody enjoyed themselves, danced nearly every night. You see old people out in the moonlight walking around in the villages. No electric light, only oil lamps and kerosene lamps. One house might invite them to go and have a tea in the grounds. You see old fellows playing accordion, singing songs. You have island dancers from Torres Strait, and people from way out west, all parts of Australia, all full-bloods, doing big robberies from all different tribes: Clump Point, Babinda, Cairns, Bowen, Cooktown, Laura, Lama Lama, all different dances. They were good and we were very happy. Nobody worrying for anything, although we got no money, no wages. But today there is a lot of crook work, I see with my own eyes. People come in with broken chins, split heads, gunshot, knife wounds, but they do nothing about it. Although we got the white people, the white police over there, them things happen every day on Palm Island. Yet here in Townsville, if a small thing happened, they go straight to Stewart Creek for a few months. In Palm Island, they can get out of it because the white police over there don't try to see them things. But why? Fancy a boat taken to the mainland, come back full of grog and nothing said by the police. Police in Townsville here won't let you carry guns in the street. Over there they allow it. Why? Why do they let you fire guns and wound people? It happens every week. Why don't they send them people to Stewart Creek? You got the black market over there, but nothing is said. Here in Townsville, if a fellow is drinking grog on the footpath or carry grog in the street or black market, goodness gracious, the police are on him straight away. The young people over there grow up thinking no law against grog. You see young girls under 15 drunk, boys under 16 carrying guns in the street. Why do things like that go on when they got white police over there? Haven't they got any law for them? Here in Townsville, even the white girls are not allowed to drink underage. Police will pick them up as lightning, but in Palm Island they let them go quick as lightning. Them things can be stopped, but the people there can't say nothing about it because the manager is in charge. He is in charge of everything. Even the councillors work by the manager. I think that I want to spoil it for the state government that is behind it all, and so they can say to the world that Palm Island is still uncivilized. Let them murder one another so the world can see that Palm Island is uncivilized. Palm Island is not uncivilized. Palm Island make beautiful home if only they got police over there who can stand over troubles. It was a tourist island one time, people going by hundreds, but today white fellas are too afraid to go over. They want somebody to go over there and work hard to beautify the island, to work with this whole heart to do the place up, grow the coconut trees, almond trees, ash trees. They like to work here in Townsville for Aboriginal people, but they're not game enough to go over there to do the same thing for them people, because you got to work hard. Here they go around with a pencil and book going to fix things for Aboriginals, do that for Islanders. They are nothing. I've been around the tourist islands: Whitsundays, Green Island, Hayman Island, Daydream, Southmore, Lindeman, Brampton. Palm Island can develop and be good like them places. It's not too late. You can do them things. Now, a while back there was a boy over there making big money. He got 22,000. He bought a Land Rover and a boat. That money, where did he get it from? The black market. Everything over there they sell on the black market. Wine $50, beer $15, rum $50, wagon $40. The police from Townsville raid the places and question him, bring him to Townsville, take all the things from him in the island. trouble is he get that money for himself. You could have done better for the island. If he got any sense, he can start a business, a cooperative store for all the island, a big super refreshment store over there for all the people and the visiting people. He had enough money, but he went on, and that's how he got caught. All the same, I reckon it is fair thing to give the boy them things back again. The money go around the island. He does nobody no harm. He struggles for them things, and he never buy stupid things. He buys something for his own use, and they allow the black market. Why don't they just have a case against the black market if it is a black market? Police over there don't stop black market. They stop home every night and work in the office. State government is behind all that. They do nothing. Why don't they stop it in the first place? According to Palm Island Aboriginals and elsewhere, that state government forget about them. But it don't forget them. It just don't want them to develop. The manager over there don't tell the police to stop them. He just let it go. The whites are only there for their own pocket, and they get paid for nothing. Close the store when they like. They don't care a damn what the people are doing over there. They don't care if they starve. Better get them shifted out from the island and get the good natives to run the place themselves. And another thing I wonder is why the case is not held in Townsville. I don't think they are game enough to have the case because the state government will fall in. White people outside will come to know. Some white people got a feeling for us today. They would jump at the case and show up at the state government and show up the state government as a crook. It is a crook every time you look. Whenever you say something, they got to point to cover. They got a point to cover it, and they always win because they are the government. We never win. We are just the rubbish blacks to them, yet they are wrong. According to God's law, which is what we all believe, they are doing crimes all the time. They break the 10 Commandments. I don't think they're Christians at all.